Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome to Next Episode Now, where we dive into the latest and greatest in true crime and investigative journalism. Today, we're exploring a tragic maritime disaster that shook the nation when a cargo ship slammed into a Baltimore bridge, causing it to collapse. The Dolly cargo ship was on its way across the Patapsco River when disaster struck, but new evidence is finally coming to light that's shedding some much-needed light on what happened in those final moments. According to an audio transcript released by the National Transportation Safety Board, power was cut off on the ship at 1:25 a.m., and an alarm sounded shortly after. Next episode now, let's take a closer look at this transcript. As it turns out, the pilot asked the second officer if they had steering, and when they replied that they did, the alarm changed in tone, a sign of trouble brewing. The pilot then told the dispatcher that the ship had just lost steering, prompting them to shut down the key bridge. But here's what really caught our attention. At 1:27 a.m., the pilot shouted orders to the crew, telling them to use the bow thruster to try and regain control of the ship. However, just 1 minute later, the second officer exclaimed that it wasn't working, a stark warning sign that something was very wrong. Next episode now, this is where things get really chilling. 2 minutes after that distress call, the recording appears to capture the sound of the key bridge collapsing. The pilot immediately contacted the Coast Guard, informing them of a major problem, and another crew member chimed in with the devastating news. The key bridge is down. The master of the Dolly, who was on board at the time, later told investigators that he had a blackout and then collided with the bridge. He claimed there were no injuries on board, but it's hard to believe that when you hear him describing the scene. Next episode now, we're learning more about the role of advanced warnings given by the ship's crew in preventing further damage. Maryland Gov. Moorset officials on the ground were able to stop traffic from flowing onto the bridge before it collapsed, which is a testament to the quick thinking and bravery of those involved. But behind every disaster like this is usually someone or something that went terribly wrong. In this case, we're hearing that the key bridge was almost 30 times above the acceptable risk threshold for critical or essential bridges. Prior to the crash, a staggering statistic that highlights the need for increased safety measures in our infrastructure. Next episode now, as we wrap up this episode, it's clear that there's still much to be learned about what happened on that fateful night. The National Transportation Safety Board is reviewing all evidence, and their findings will likely shed even more light on the circumstances surrounding this tragedy. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as they become available. Thanks for joining us on Next Episode Now. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.